evening, YouTube. You guys are now watching another segment of the Cali Effect. Today we're going to be going over the Heraldic Stick and Chair Clown Norden deck. This deck is incredibly fun, and as you guys could have seen by the Dev Pro Duels, if you have not, you obviously want to check them out. This deck is really fun and really good. I actually really enjoy playing into it. I don't know, you probably can win a couple tournaments with it because the combos and plays with this deck is ridiculous. But let's get down to the deck profile. I'm going to be running 3 copies of Heraldic Beast Leo, 2 copies of Heraldic Beast Twin-Headed Eagle. I actually really like this card. I'll explain it later. 2 copy of Heraldic Beast Unicorn. I'll explain this card later too. It's also, it's almost mandatory if you ask me. 3 copies of Amber Conway. This is actually a forced play because, you know, Heraldic Beasts aren't amazing, but I actually kind of like this card. That's going to be sum up the Heraldic Beast monsters. Now for the Performage monsters, we're going to run 2 Damage Juggler and 2 Hat Tricker. For the Stick and Chair cards, we're going to be running 3 copies of Scepter, 3 copies of Chair. Now, this deck is just, man, it's so XE-centric. But actually, I'll just get into the spells. 3 copies of Advanced Heraldry Art, 3 copy of Instant Fusion, 3 copy of Heraldry Reborn. That's going to sum, oh, I'm sorry, actually, 2 copies of Enemy Controller. This card's gone in here. And 1 copy of Foolish Burial. Now for the traps, I'm actually running 41 cards. I don't really want to run 41 cards, but I'm kind of have to. 2 copies of Breakthrough Skill, 2 copies of Mirror Force, 3 copies of Call It 100, 2 copies of Raigeki Break, and 1 Phoenix Wing Blast. Now, to what I was saying, this deck is just, oh my god, it's so fun to play. It is just so good. Your main thing that you want to do, and the only problem that I have with this deck, I'm still trying to fix that, is putting multiple Heraldic Beasts into your graveyard. If you can find a way to continuously put multiple Heraldic Beasts as the game goes on in your graveyard, your opponent will have a very hard time stopping you because the XE plays you'll be able to make with Advanced Heraldry Art and Heraldry Reborn will just be too hot to handle. As you guys can see in the Dev Pro game, I did make Timaeus with 7 materials, so I mean, that's how good this deck is. It can slam 5 monsters on the board, Exceed summon with it, gain all these effects, and then just keep plowing through your opponent with all that energy. Was it tier 1? Hell no, it's just really fun to play. Hat Tricker and Damage Juggler are probably the cards that completely saved my life a couple times. You know, because you already know Damage Juggler is basically like a Valkyrius that can't be stopped. And Hat Tricker is an extra monster that you can place onto the board. Sometimes you'll like have sticks or chairs on the board that are just empty and you're like, well, what can I do with this? Other times you just want to set up your main Exceed play to set up your Heraldic Beast monsters, and then you know you're good. And so like that's why I like Hat Tricker a lot. Advanced Heraldry Art, keep in mind, what Advanced Heraldry Art says is that you don't have to go into a Psychic monster. So you can literally activate it and Exceed into as many times as you want. To make it even worse, if the monster you Exceed summoned into detaches both materials, I mean provided that those are your only Heraldic Beast monsters, you can activate Advanced Heraldry Art again, as you guys can have seen in the Dev Pro Duel. I have 3 waiting to activate just to get rid of my opponent's stuff, just to completely annihilate them. I love that card. 3 Instant Fusion because Norden is always Norden. Being able to special summon Leo to your side of the field is great. Special summoning Scepter is amazing because then you can follow up with Hat Tricker and make a 3-play, and Scepter will get its effect to destroy. Just special summoning any of those cards are pretty good, but more likely, I like to special summon Leo, I like to special summon Scepter. Heraldry Reborn is a monster reborn for all your Heraldic monsters. If you're special summoning Leo, you're doing something right. Enemy Controller is a way to get my Patriarch to the graveyard. It's also a really good control card. If I tribute Damage Juggler, or you know, if I'm tributing this, or if my opponent's like Effect Veiler, Finish Chain, or maxing my Scepter, I can tribute it and still get my Scepter search, you know, provided under certain circumstances that I want to do it. And then I can abuse it with Call It 100 to bring it back to trigger my monster's effects. It's just, oh my god, it's so amazing. And then the most thing, since I'm assuming a lot of people are playing Norden, Enemy Controller gives me the level 4 monster so I can Exceed summon with it and make whatever play I want to. Foolish Burial is pretty obvious. I mean, it sends your important cards to the graveyard, especially since more than half this deck needs to be sent to the graveyard. Raigeki Break and Phoenix Wing Blast, trust me, I want to run 2 and 2 of each because I want to send all of these Nordic Beast monsters to the graveyard, especially if I have them in the hand. So if I can destroy cards or send cards to my opponent's top of the deck, by doing it, then I will, because I mean that's just pluses for me. This deck, like I said, Really easy at XE summoning. If you don't believe me, just watch the video. The video is just so fun with this deck. That's really pretty much it. Now we're going to get to the X-Seeds. Alright guys, the X-Seeds are pretty, I mean, it's actually 16 of them, and then there's a couple other cards that I want to talk about. But, I mean, you're going to have to cut one card, obviously, if you want to play it for any type of tournament or, you know, any type of game. But I just want to talk about all of these. I feel that all of them are important. Okay, so you have Constellar, Satellar Knight, Diamond. That's pretty obvious since you're running, since I'm running Timaeus. Constellar, Pleiades. That's obvious as well since I'm running Timaeus. These are actually my only two rank 5 monsters that I play in here. I feel that these are the best. If I'm not going into them, then I'm doing something else crazy. Sonar Honor Arc, Timaeus, of course, Daigusto Emerald, MVP. I've shuffled multiple copies of, you know, these back into my deck to go into a Timaeus play. Excited Knight, another MVP. You guys seen it before. Castell, Godly, especially since it detaches to material. Rhapsody I actually really like. I don't want to cut it, but if I have to, I will. The reason why I like Rhapsody is because it detaches to material. Dweller. Dweller is actually 2200 when you make them with Nodin, so that's pretty cool. Satellar Knight, Deltaros, make them pretty often too, and you know, that's pretty much my rank 3 guy. And then Evil Swarm Ouroboros, I make this guy pretty well too, so yeah, like none of those I want to get rid of. I guess you could get rid of the number 8, but I think that this card, it really shines against the opponent. When your opponent is playing something X-Seed heavy and you just summon it and then copy their opponent's monsters effects and then, you know, just go on from there. Since a lot of people are running the, you know, the Nodin, you know, Nodin X-Seed summoning into whatever they want to, this card is godly for being able to copy whatever they X-Seed summon into. Even if it's an Honor Arc, you copy their Honor Arc, you snatch their monster, and then you keep going from there. This card's like really good for that. And then Patriarch, this card's actually one of the main cards from the deck. There was a point in time where I was running 2, but I really don't need to. If I can resolve this monster's effect once, I can special summon it again and continuously resolve this monster's effects to get all my Heraldic Beast monsters to the graveyard, and then I'll be perfectly fine from there. And then your 3 copies of Nodin. A lot of people, they like, you know, they play 3 Instant Fusion, 2 Nodin. I mean, I guess you guys could go with that. Personally, I don't see why people do it, because if I have 3 Instant Fusion, I want to use all 3 of my Instant Fusion. I don't just want to hold on to an Instant Fusion. And granted, the game normally doesn't progress that long, and you know, people are tight for extra deck space, so I can perfectly see it. But I want to use all 3 of my Nordin because Nordin just too good. The deck, like I said, is really, really good. And a couple of cards that I want to talk to you guys about is another Patriarch, you know, because if this does get bottomless or, you know, solemn, you have a problem. So, you know, that's pretty bad. But more often than not, your opponent won't solemn it. Bottomless it, yes. Solemn it, no. And Heraldry Crest. This card I actually probably would replace for a 3 guy if X-Seed monsters were a lot more prevalent. Its effect is really, really interesting nonetheless. I would have to take out Ouroboros because I couldn't take out Deltaros. It's a Tellar Knight Timaeus target. So these 2 cards are really good in here. I really like the deck. It is extremely fun to play, and as you guys can see by the Death Row videos, it's exciting to watch at the very least. Now on to the combos. Alright guys, for the people that don't know, I want to properly introduce the stick and chair combo. I'm pretty sure I haven't never done it on my channel, so I'm just going to introduce the combo. First we need stick and a chair to successfully resolve this combo. We're going to normal summon stick. Stick's effect is going to add chair into our hand, and then we're going to chain the first chair. So go ahead and special summon that chair and draw a card. Special summon this chair and draw a card. Let's say hypothetically one of our drawn cards was a Hat Tricker. You know, we can special summon that afterwards. Or if we drew another scepter, another stick, we can special summon that too, and we can have a full-fledged tilt. But for right now, we'll just say that we drew that. We'll special summon that. Next thing we're going to do is if we have a card that we want to get rid of, like if we're opening up and we have like multiple copies of these, or even a copy of it, or you know, Heraldry Reborn, or just cards that we don't want, we're going to go ahead and set it, or use it, or however you want to do it, if it's face up on the field, or you know, whatever. And then we're going to use all 4 material to go into Tellar Knight Timaeus, and then Timaeus, or Scepter's effect is going to allow Timaeus to destroy a card on the field. We're going to destroy the useless card and then draw another card. If we're not destroying cards on the opponent's side of the field and drawing cards as well. That's how you're going to get a 4 material Timaeus on your side of the field. During your end phase, because you obviously, if you're going first, you're just going to pass turn. If you already know your matchup and they don't involve darks, or you know, anything that Diamond would be useful for, you can attach Diamond, or you know, you can attach Deltaros, and you know, you can just keep on pushing for more and more material. Eventually you'll be able to make a Constellar Pleiades, that's really, really big. That has a lot of material on it. It's going to get rid of a lot of problems. So, I mean, that's really good to start off with. And then you're going to have a lot of cards in your hand to be able to fight your opponent, as well as this huge Pleiades of a monster that you're going to have as well. I mean, this is actually one of the reasons why I wanted to run Phoenix Chainers over Breakthrough Skills, but I opted against them in the late. Another combo is Instant Fusion, Hat Tricker, and Leo in the graveyard. So basically we're going to Instant Fusion into Nodin. Nodin's effect's going to special summon Leo. Then we're going to special summon Hat Tricker. Then we're going to triple Exceed summon. It really doesn't matter. You can go into the Timaeus, or you can go into the Deltaros. You can go into the Ouroboros. It does not matter. Whatever you go into, just make sure you're going into it and activating its effect. So for this, we're going to go into the Deltaros. We're going to activate its effect to destroy a card on the field. And then Leo's effect is going to activate, adding us any Heraldic Beast monster from our deck to our hand. Another combo I want to talk about, actually it really isn't a combo, it's just a card, is Twin-Headed Bald Eagle. Once we put so many monsters, or heraldic monsters to our graveyard, we can start using Twin-Headed Bald Eagle, and a lot of people don't know its great effect. You can banish it, target 2 heraldic beast monsters, attach it to a monster with no material. So for example, if Deltaros has no material and I have like a Leo, him, and a Unicorn graveyard, we're going to activate his effect, banish him, attach these 2 guys as material. Now guess what? I'm going to activate his effect, destroy a card, his effect, add another heraldic beast monster from my deck to my hand. I just thought I should throw that out there. That is the reason why I run 2 of him. I was actually running 3 of him at a point in time, just because that effect is really good, and it's probably the best heraldic beast monster that has to offer besides Leo. So yeah, that's a good thing. The last combo I want to talk to you guys about, like I said, there's so many combos. I really can't go over every single combo in the deck. It's up to you guys to figure out all those other combos. Is Enemy Controller, a Patriarch on field, and a Heraldry Art in hand. So basically, we're going to have Heraldry Art. Let's say hypothetically our opponent's playing the Trick Clown Blade variant. We're going to activate Enemy Controller. We're going to tribute Patriarch to steal their monster. Patriarch's effect's going to activate. And with that, we're going to send Unicorn and Leo. Leo's effect's going to activate. We can add the Bald Eagle to our hand to pitch for Raigeki Break or that Phoenix One Wing Blast. So now we have that monster in hand. We're going to activate Heraldry Beast Art. We're going to special summon these 2 guys, and then we're going to Exceed summon. And the Exceed monster, I mean, it genuinely does not matter, to be honest with you. I guess we can go into an Honor Art to snatch your other monster. We'll detach 2, snatch your other monster. You can go into a Castell and save that for another search, or whatever. And then furthermore, we're going to summon this guy and then Exceed summon with the Clown Blade for more material. Possibly even, if it's later stages in the game, the Daigusto Emerald to recover some of our Exceed monsters back into our deck by detaching the Eagle, not the Clown Blade monster. So as you guys can see, there's a lot of wacky combos, a lot of cool things that involve the graveyard with this deck. It's like I said, it's a really fun deck to play. It has so many wacky combos and interesting things that you can do. It's not even funny. It's really all thanks to Nodin, because Nodin brought this deck to life again. Thank you guys so much for watching another segment of the Cali Effect. Please like, comment, subscribe, but most of all, enjoy.